What's going on, everybody? And what's going on, folks? My name is David, and I'm your wonderful, legendary host of this legendary podcast, the D-constructing Topic podcast. Because you know what we could do? We're going to grab a topic, we're going to deconstruct it a little bit the D way, which is my name is David, because I am that legendary host. Woo, let's make it happen. And yeah, today we're going to talk a little bit of politics and my kind of point of view. And, maybe this is going to be a little short one, but a good one as always, in regards to the former national counter-terrorist director of Joe Kent. Yeah, I sounded like if I'm watching episode 24. Wasn't there like a counterterrorism unit there or something to that effect? ICU, something like that. I don't know. Beep, boop, beep, boop. For those people that have actually watched the show 24, it's an old school show, but Kiefer Sullivan. It was an interesting show. The concept is that for some reason this dude did not sleep for 24 hours because he was trying to save the world from somebody, whether Russian terrorists, Muslim terrorists, Christian terrorists, South American terrorists, all type of terrorists. I think maybe an alien terrorist was somewhere around there. So in this 24 hours, he basically had 24 hours to save the world. He always had a satchel. The guy didn't sleep for one day trying to save the world, and a lot of things happen. What a show. But yeah, we are going to talk about Joe Kent here. And once again, you already know I appreciate that like, and I appreciate reaching out to me. Always good to have your people, your family sit down and listen to my podcast, because I want to kind of, in these last couple of days, after Joe Kent resigned due to what was happening in Iran and the bombing and, not agreeing with Trump or anything to that effect, I've done heard people from both sides of the aisle, and now he's being investigated for leaking certain information, and I'm like, wiping my face, I'm like, ugh. Yeah, it seems like I'm watching a show of 24 with all these stuff. Once again, this is what the government is. And this is what the government in the United States is. I don't want people to feel surprised, to be like, oh my goodness, that means that there are people that are standing against Trump, or they're standing against the war and standing. None of that. All this looks like it's more like smoke than fire, more than anything, to be honest with you. And if he is investigating for leaking information and find out that he was leaking information to certain countries or whatever the case might be, whatever. I'm just saying, it's not the first time. It ain't going to be the last time. I'm looking at you, Congress, too. Congress, a little compromise here in the United States. But anyways, I'm here to talk about Jen Kent. And once again, it is one of those things that he represents the Republican Party. What time he has some affiliation, he is someone that served the military in this country, which I want to say is this. He's a young dude, so I mean he's been put in that military work for a long time, and I want to say, in my understanding, it has his wife also served in the military, if I'm not mistaken. And what got him into politics is that she was in Syria, and something happened, and she passed away. And then, I guess that's when he's like, okay, we need to, get into this thing of getting into politics. I'm just going to say shit. I'm just going to, for some reason, I'm going to grab this situation. So I see there are people, for some reason, people on the right, those who are supporters of MAGA, what they call MAGA, Trump. I think there's two different things. I think MAGA and Trump's. I think that MAGA existed way before Trump, and I did have mentioned that for some reason, MAGA exists in two sides. MAGA stands for Make America Great Again. It's actually one red MAGA and one blue MAGA. Because I'm gonna bring this out, but I'm not gonna mention no name. There was a kind of right-wing black conservative influencer. And I'm gonna say influencer because he gets paid by certain groups to do those talking points that Malcolm X warned us about on these two sides of the conservative liberals. And then you got this individual, I think he's on the left, or he's more like centrist liberal, whatever it is, kind of a little bit independent, but still, calling the black conservative out. And by all means, he had the right to do so. And I guess this black conservative started snapping on Joe Kent. The people on the left started saying, well, you didn't serve the military. You didn't go out there and fight for this country. But you're just getting paid to talk about how we need to protect democracy from one side to the other. You understand what I'm saying? And what I gather from there is that basically this person on the left is basically saying, hey, listen, so he serves the military and protect the freedom of the United States. Keep in mind is this. Why do MAGA exist in both sides of the aisle? For some reason, to this day, right? So, with all due respect, Joe Kent's wife that died in Syria. Why is the United States in Syria for? Why is the United States in Syria? Why is the United States, after 9/11, went to Iraq or Iraq? Why in the mid-'60s, early '60s, the United States invaded Dominican Republic? Why did they invade Venezuela? Why did they go to war in Vietnam? I'm just saying, I want people to understand to this day, I'm not going to say I don't understand. I understand. I get it. But when people tell me these people who are fighting for your democracy, for your freedom, I'm like, I just named the Dominican Republic. What did the Dominican Republic do again? That they got invaded? I could tell you a story. Vietnam, what did the Vietnamese did? Muhammad Ali told you. I had no beef with them. What did people in Venezuela ever done to Americans that you need to take away their president, whatever it is that you want to call them? I mean, we could even go back as to 100 years, Puerto Rico. South Korea, hello. I'm just saying. I could name you all these countries where the United States went there and invaded and took their democracy, and I will guarantee there's not one person from that country that you felt threatened. We always talk about North America, China, and Russia. And have you all met like one person from? I mean, I maybe met a North Korean. I mean, met many Chinese people. Good, lovely people. Russians as well. I'm just saying, somewhere people in this country have to just kind of unplug themselves. It's like, how do you get the Joe Kents of the world? You prop up some 9/11 stuff. The dude is out there doing like 11 tour. Now he becomes the director under Trump. And it's crazy because he resigned. But somebody pointed out he's not going after the Republican Party or anything like that. He's not scolding Trump or calling him a liar or anything like that. You see how this works? Just because someone resigns doesn't mean that much. If you're talking about, you know what, F the Republican Party, F Trump, this is some fake war. I don't know what the hell they're doing. They're going to put Americans' life at risk. I'm out of here. I want no part of it. Let me start my own independent party or my own party or whatever. I could respect that. But I don't think that he's doing anything like that. I mean, me personally, I don't know if he deserved praise. I mean, I would question the situation, but like that black conservative would just call him man out and questioning his integrity. I'm like, okay, I I want this country, and I hope, and I know that I'm hope as long as I got a podcast to educate people, is that all this is just this theater that's been always put in front of you, so you could have that conversation. I'll have that conversation, but I'll guarantee I'll unplug myself. If I decide to vote on the election or the next presidential election, I'll tell you who I'm going to vote for. It ain't the same duopoly that people for some reason go to time after time because stories like Joe Kent, it pushes people. Oh, that's why we Democrats. This would not happen if Harris. And I'm like, ugh, it would happen. The same situation, it would happen. But the media would have changed the narrative. People like, Joe Kent, with all due respect. With all due respect. I mean, this is a person that flip-flop from Democratic to Libertarian to Republican. You see how this works? And we seeing that's the individual now, Tulsi Gabbard. I call her Pancake. Pancake Tulsi. Flips. These are flip-flop. Politics flip-flop. Everybody flip-flops. They change their tune. But it's to the two-party system, not very rare independent. And I'm going to continue to do so, and I'm going to continue to educate people. My take on this situation, look, I think that sometimes there's a lot of smoke. But I'm not going to gravitate and say, yeah, this is the beginning of people going after Trump and his administration. It's like, because nobody's going to go against him, not even his opponents. Because sadly, there's a lot of people that make money off these situations and what's happening in Iran. Or I would love to talk about Bibi Netanyahu. Is he alive? We don't know. Is he hiding over here? We don't know. But the fact that people like Joe Kent or anything like that, he'll let's just say that they don't find anything wrongdoing, whatever it is, because now it's gonna be this type of game, which is stupid. The media, I'm telling you, after 9/11, I'm telling you, this country have changed completely after 9/11. And I'm not saying that before 9/11 that we had these media control, government, everything is psyop. I'm not gonna say that's never happened before 9/11 because it did. It was just a little bit different. But now because of the internet and technology and how fast the information is going, after 9/11, everything became every minute. It used to be that you wait for breaking news every 10, 15, even 30 minutes, every hour. Now it's every second. So the media needs to make money, so they need to prop up all these type of stories, the fake Fox News, the fake MSNBC, the fake CNN, the fake New York Post, Washington Post, New York Daily News, New York Times, all these medias, they need to make money and they need suckers because you already know there's a sucker born every second, and every second they need to prop up some type of story so you can fall for it and be like, oh, this is why I would vote for Harris. This is why I voted for Trump. This is why I voted for Biden. It sounds more better when you say, you know what? Oh, F all of them. I voted for somebody independent. I voted for somebody who think on their own. Or sometimes I say to myself, voted for me. And that's cool. But you're gonna see if he's not found guilty, you're gonna see Joe Kennedy's gonna go to the Democratic Party. He's gonna run. Who knows that if and again, this would not surprise me. This would not surprise me because I know how I'm telling you, I know how this country, when it comes to the media. If he doesn't win, I mean, I'm sorry, I take it back. If he didn't do anything wrong, any lab, a leak or anything to that effect, I won't be surprised. And he goes to the Democratic Party. And he be nominated a couple of years to run for U.S. president because now he's that person who really stood against Donald Trump. Let that sink in. And if that's what's about to happen, you heard this on the Deconstructing Topic podcast. I am that dude that for 20 years, I've been saying that 25 years, Donald Trump, once again, I met Donald Trump back in the mid-90s. Yankee Stadium, met him 3 times. Dude said, I'm going to run for president. I told people, hey, Donald Trump's going to run for president. Everybody like, yo, David, you crazy. I said, he's going to win. He told me he's going to win because the guy had the script right in his pocket. And I took a peek at that script and I said, okay. I guess this is the universe telling me that I should be doing podcasting about things that will happen. Just like I predicted that Joe Biden 9 months before he resigned, I said he's going to drop out because I already know. The dude was acting like he didn't know anything or he had dementia when he was running for president. Now look, he's no longer president. The dude is sharp as a motherflower now. Or at least a little bit more sharper. But you see how that works? The guy was acting like a fool. You put because he can't lose. Look, he can't lose to Trump because the establishment, the Democratic Party, they can't run and risk bigger names. They can't risk the Hillarys. They can't risk the AOCs. Other people, and just like in the Republican Party, they can't risk some of the big names who know they're going to lose. So they just throw somebody, sacrificial lamb, here, Harris, lose. Wake up, America. Let's make it happen. Once again, this is the Deconstructing Topic podcast. Woo, once again, hit that like button. Feel free to reach out to me. All the information is on my description. Let's make it happen. I'm out of here. Peace.